you guys, it's your girl T. So I want to go ahead and shout out Jude Pement. He's one of the first ones to send me this request. He wants me to talk about the whole 50 Cent situation where he's mocking an autistic young man at the airport, okay? So what's going on is that basically 50 Cent was invited to Northern Kentucky to go and sign vodka liquor bottles. He was on a liquor promotion. And while he was at the airport, he ended up seeing this guy. He thought he was on drugs. He thought he was high. The guy was kind of looking past 50 Cent, wasn't really paying him any attention. And 50 decides to get onto Instagram and take a video of him and basically clown this young man. And when this video went viral, folks went in on 50 Cent. He was getting drugged. People ended up letting him know that that man was autistic. All he does is work hard. He don't bother nobody. 50 Cent is a straight up idiot. It came out that the young guy, he's 19 years old. His name is Andrew Farrell and he is autistic. He's speaking out now about him being bullied by 50 Cent. His parents are also speaking out as well. And initially, when everything came out, they were initially looking to sue 50 Cent. They were even saying that, they'll start a GoFundMe and 50 Cent should donate $1 million. But then they realized it'd be hard to sue him for that. So they just want a sincere apology from 50 Cent. I want you guys to watch both of these news clips. I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary.
Appalling, just flat out sick. That's how the parents of Andrew Farrell described the video you're about to see. It shows rapper 50 Cent harassing their son. Odds are after you see it, you'll feel the same way.
What's your name?
Andrew Farrell had just started his workday at CVG. He was on his way to clean one of the gates.
Then the guy just come up and just started talking to me.
It wasn't just any guy, it was rapper 50 Cent. And he wasn't just talking to Andrew, he was harassing him.
Look at him, look at the, what kind of you think he took before he got to work today? He hot as a right here in the airport.
It hurts to watch that.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah, it is.
Andrew's stepfather, Ken, couldn't believe what he was seeing.
You come up and you start talking to a kid that you have nothing about. That's not fair. I mean, that's a slap in the face. Here's a guy who people look up to, and he's going to act like that? Come on.
Andrew has dealt with social anxiety and mild autism all his life. His mother, Amanda, says it's heartbreaking to see him treated like this.
Personally, I think the guy was mad. Andrew didn't know who he was right away. And he ignored him and he did his job and went about his business. I think he was mad and offended because somebody wasn't flocking to him.
Andrew's family would like an apology. If they don't get one, they've got a simple suggestion for 50 Cent.
You don't deserve to come to Cincinnati at all. You're done.
As for Andrew, he's pretty happy with the person he is.
I don't do drugs. I believe in God. And I'm a hard worker.
You're a pretty good guy. Now, Andrew and his family say the outpouring of support from complete strangers from all over the world has been tremendous. Hundreds of positive messages have been posted to Andrew's Instagram and Facebook pages in the past few days. Adam Clements, Local 12 News.
All right, so you guys just watched that video of Andrew, his family, and he's such a sweet young man. And that just broke my heart to see what he's been through and the fact that he's still a hard worker. He's not making excuses. You have people out here who are fit as an ox, who are healthy, and who refuse to work. But this young man is doing nothing more than his job, working his 9 to 5, and then you have this asshole rapper harassing him and making fun of him, okay? So now, since the video went viral and 50 Cent was shamed, he's since come out with an apology, and this is what 50 Cent had to say to Page 6. 50 Cent says, while the incident at the airport resulted from an unfortunate misunderstanding, I am truly sorry for offending this young man. It was certainly not my intent to insult him or the disability community, which is a source of great strength in America. I have apologized personally to him and his family. I don't know if he wrote the apology. Maybe he did. Maybe it was his publicist. But the thing is, there was no misunderstanding, 50 Cent. That was bullshit. That was you picking on somebody trying to be funny. Once again, I've caught him on before for trying to be always funny on Instagram. That's how his ass got sued by Rick Ross's baby's mother and won. Instead of him being mature, handling his business, teaching these young men about savings and doing the right thing, all he wants to do is just constantly joke and clown, joke and clown. Now that joking and clowning is biting him in the ass, okay? The thing is, I feel like the reason why 50 Cent went at him is because he probably ran into the guy at the airport and the guy ignored him. And some of these celebrities have really huge egos, and they feel like if you don't know who they are, if you're not running up to them, if you're not up in their face, it makes them feel some type of way, just like his mother was saying in that news clip. I can very much see that happening because I see it all the time out here in LA where celebrities will kind of look at you out the corner of their eye, you know, expect you to come and talk to them, and I'll keep it moving. At the end of the day, you're not paying my bills, you're not doing nothing for me, you know, I wish you well, but I'm not about to run behind no celebrity. They're regular people just like me, you know, and I've noticed where some celebrities will get offended if you don't recognize them, if you don't know what they played in, or you don't know who I am, or you've never seen me before, well, have you watched it? No. Sir, can you move over? Thank you. You know, so I feel like that's probably what the situation was because this young man probably saw 50. They made eye contact. He had no idea who he was. He just kept it moving. So 50 decided to run after him and kind of harass him. And it's really, really sad. And it's really sad. You can sit here and accuse this young man of being a drug addict and being on drugs, but yet and still you're sitting here trying to promote vodka and you're trying to promote poison to the youth and you yourself don't even drink. So to me, he's a big hypocrite. 50 does not drink. He's all about health and everything else when it comes to his personal body. He doesn't drink or do drugs, but yet and still you're out here promoting a liquor line.
And yet the interesting thing again about you, which I found surprising, I don't want to insult you by saying that, but I remember asking you, how many drugs have you taken?
Right, and I don't actually use drugs. It was a
Never taken drugs?
No, it was an easy option. It was either you can take $10 or $5 that you spent on buying weed to smoke it or put it in your pocket. My motivation at that point, it wasn't like I was making the decision to do it with the comfort of having things just around me at access. There weren't things around. Like it was.
But most people of your peer group at the time would have been taking drugs. So it showed a self-discipline, which is odd in a boy of that age.
And I got a chance to see a lot of my mother was one of 9. So I got a chance to watch a lot of my mother's sisters and brothers at different periods, like experiment with the usage of drugs or alcohol, you know. And
did you ever touch alcohol?
I see them respond so differently from it that I stayed away from it. Like I had.
So you've never taken drugs. You've never done alcohol.
I've drunk before, but not like.
Not much.
Yeah,
and you don't anymore.
I've had an experience that what made me like a paranoid because of it, and I stayed away from it following that.
Smoke?
No.
I mean, you're one of the squeakiest, cleanest men I've ever met.
So to me, what 50 Cent is doing is a lot worse than what this young man is doing. At least this young man at the age of 19 is working a legit job. He's trying to take care of himself and just do his job and just do what he needs to do, as opposed to 50 Cent sitting up here trying to promote liquor and foolishness and trying to promote something that he himself is not even indulging in, okay? And one thing I always say is before people go out their way to make fun of others, to clown people need to learn to put themselves in other people's shoes. You know what I'm saying? How would 50 Cent like it if somebody went to his son and was clowning his son and making fun of him and accusing him of being a drug user? You know, you just don't do that. And this man has way too much fame. He has way too much money. He has way too much popularity to always be involved in some fuckery. At some point in time, he needs to grow up. He's always on social media, always clowning, always going in on people, and that shit gets old. Now it's blowing up in his face, and he better hope that this family does not end up getting a lawyer that's willing to sue 50 Cent pro bono. He has enough lawsuits on his hand. He has enough people that he needs to pay out. He doesn't need any more lawsuits. So he might want to fall back on clowning and joking on random strangers, okay? So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation. Once again, concerning 50 Cent making fun of this innocent autistic man named Andrew Farrell. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.